All right, excuse me. So, so we have discussed some interesting rest of operator. And I would again remind you that this rest of operator, we are going to use this operator also, we are going to use in React a lot. And it's called rest of operator, or some situations we will see that it is called the spread operator as well. It will just, we want to take out a list from somewhere. So we can always have a list of that type, that category as well. Okay. Other than that, a last thing that I would like to just, discuss over here. And please remind me if we talked about some weird data types in JavaScript, which are called truthy and falsy. Did we talk about them? Truthy and falsy. And I told you truthy to begin with, you can just understand that which is basically, which value is there. So you say it's truthy value. If it is not there, it's falsy. But though there is some different thing. So I'm writing a function. See here, everyone. And for example, this function name is update score. It has a current value and or let's say added value or added and bonus. Right? Or I should say increment. To add it, I can say increment. That will make much more sense. So let's see this function. We are talking about that parameters is not a problem in JavaScript. You can give any number of parameters. You can skip any number of parameters, right? So what are the different ways of handling the parameters which are not being passed? I'm just talking about that one. So let's write a program, very simple program that has to update the score. So I say if bonus, right? So I would say if bonus value is there, do what? Return a value, like take the current value plus increment into bonus. If bonus is there, of course, take the bonus, multiply that with the increment, and then apply to the bonus, to the current value. Updating score, updating salary, you can call it whatever. But the concept that I want to make you understand, else means the bonus is falsy. Bonus is not truthy. You guys understand? Bonus is not being given. If the bonus is not given, do what? Just return the current value plus increment. Very simple. It's a very obvious type of a program. If bonus is truthy, then do what? Make increment multiply by bonus. Otherwise, just you return, current value into increment, plus increment. Yes, plus increment. Make sense, everyone? I'm about to make its different shapes now. Be ready to understand. Very important that we have talked about a lot. If I make it comment for a second, and I come here and I say just one line, return bonus question mark. Do you guys remember the ternary operator? And we are starting to get into that one. Return bonus question mark. If bonus is truthy, current value plus increment multiply by bonus, colon, current value plus increment. Is it exactly the same logic that we have written down in 4 or 5 lines before? Exactly the same logic. Remember, this ternary is actually the short form of if and elsing. Remember, everyone? First of all, we have just tried to handle this bonus like this. We have said that if the bonus is there, just do that, or try to if that bonus is not there, you can just do that. One way we have used ternary operator and does what? You see that if bonus is truthy, current value and plus increment into bonus. If bonus is not truthy, which is falsy, do what? Just current value plus increment. Again, exactly the same thing. Line number 184 to 188 was doing exactly the same thing that we have written down in one line. Make sense, everyone? Now let's see how else we can handle this situation. I can say let, or not let, bonus is equal to bonus 5 sign 1. See that? Yeah. Sorry? Yeah, exactly the same. the priority of the operator, the precedence of the operator is exactly almost the same as mathematics. The divide, the multiply first, and then addition, the brackets and all those kinds of things. Okay. Bonus is equal to bonus into 1. And you just write this. That's also possible. Even though it has come in 2 lines, but do you see the effectiveness? We have said if the bonus is given, store it in bonus. Otherwise, make it 1. Or, you see that this or operator? Bonus is equal to bonus or 1. If user has provided bonus, store it in bonus, keep bonus. And otherwise, if it is not there, bonus is equal to 1. Just make that. Are you guys getting that one? Let's try to make it more simplified. I'm just trying to give you lots of shapes of it. Now, even I could do this like as well. Why in the world I'm using even this line? Comment this out. I come here and I say here, bonus or 1. Can someone disagree with this one? Return into bonus or 1. Either it is bonus, and if it is falsy, just 1. This or, remember, logical or is a very important operator. So much so that I can even write another shape of it. And I'll leave this because, for your code, I will leave this. So much so I can just write return current value plus into bonus. And I'm not doing that as well. And what I do is, instead of doing all these kind of stuff, I come to the definition and I say bonus equal to 1. What does that mean? I hope you guys, some of you understand this one now. Now listen very carefully. This is called default value of a parameter. If user does not give anything to the bonus will become what? Are you guys getting that one? Do you see that I have changed this a lot of times? It's again how you handle some variable, operator. Because this could be update score could be called with anyways. So for example, if I come here and I ask you, if I call this in console.log, if I can 10.5, what will be my output here and what will be my output here? Can you guys guess? For the first time, and I'm talking about any shape. So you see 10 and 5. So because 10 and 5 are there, bonus is not there. So if the bonus is not there, what will be passed to the function? 1, because there is a default value. It's called default value of a parameter. I hope you guys understand that one. Default parameter. So now, any case, if the first one runs, it says 10 plus 5, 10 plus 5, 15. But what about this second situation? What it will do? 10 plus 5 times 2, which is again 10. So 10 plus 10, 20. It will come out as 20. Make sense, everyone? Because now because now bonus is also there. Are you guys getting that one? I wanted to give you a little bit of taste of it, that if some parameter you want to keep optional, how would you do that? This or symbol was very important. Remember, I've just written down the comments. If I show you comments back, you see bonus, I written down this one, which was correct 100%. I could have written down this one. So you said, okay, this one is okay. Okay, fine. Now I said, okay, bonus equal to bonus or 1, return current and to bonus, or you can just even take it out and just bonus or 1, or you can do these kind of things. Was that a good explanation of, missing parameters? So you might get this type of questions anywhere. So you will have to now very quickly just have a look at the slides that we have. And, we have done most of the things, and I'll find out what we have not done. So I'll just show you that from the slides. So declaring function, can have parameters and return value. They have declared function, name of function, greet function, and function add AB. Required versus optional parameters. So they are just, just remembering that you can always, name is equal to friend. Remember that the same thing that we have discussed, right? Name is equal to friend. So if name is not given, friend will be automatically coming up over here. That's exactly the same. Arrow functions, we have talked about arrow functions. Multiple syntax variations, basic syntax with parameters, implicit return, single parameter. So look at that. Here it is just, one line console.log. Here just one line with one parameter. Here returning a plus b. Here returning the square. See, you see that even parentheses are disappeared over here. Now, our prettier will not allow this. Our prettier will not allow this. So if I say let square is equal to x, arrow x into x. Look at that. My prettier will always put the parentheses over there, even though I left it out. You guys understanding? Actually, in originality, even we can leave out the parentheses in that situation. You know what I mean? But our prettier is just doing this kind of thing. So, but if you just write x, arrow x into x, 100% correct. That is also JavaScript functions. Makes sense, everyone? So here, this is our prettier, which is making it unprettier, right? Okay. Let's go back. So single parameter and double parameters, variable scope. We talked about that, and very quickly, I'll just show you this. Variable scope, use local scope when possible, avoid global variables. So use unique function names. Now look at that. When you define some const globe variable, it will be a global variable. Make sense? If you define something const local variable, it will be local for that and it won't be accessible over here. Did we do that in the last class? Let and const I showed you. I think we did the first week. Let and const. So let and const, they have that block level scope, while as var has a function level scope, or you call it so to speak global level scope. But it's a function level scope. Remember everyone? So we have talked about that one. Try to give functions very descriptive names. Best practices of functions. Single responsibility, like function should have only one responsibility, one thing to do. Divide and conquer rule. Each function should do one thing well. Keep functions focused and small. You have to, and we'll do example, next week. You will really find out that one function will make different functions for different jobs. Meaningful names and use parameters. Try to use parameters always so that the function look good and function have that. So there's a practice question that you might want to attempt. I'll just discuss that. I don't want you to attempt it right now because we have to move to our. So write a function, calculate rectangle area that takes two parameters, length and width. It should return the area of rectangle, call the function with different values and log the results. Number two, arrow functions with default parameters. Create an arrow function, greet user that takes a name parameter. So you can always practice all of these questions, and these will also come in class 1 as well. So you can always practice these questions as well. Now troubleshooting, they have just given some slides related to troubleshooting, which is very important. And I would just give you some hint, and when we'll be writing the code, I will give you some hint over there how to debug the code. This is very important. Look at the types of errors. We can have different types of errors. Syntax errors. What is a syntax error? An error that you have made in the grammar of the language. Grammar of the language. You are not following the grammar of the language. In C#, I told you, if you miss out one terminator, you will never be able to run your program. Why? Because you have made a syntax error. Syntax error is the grammar or the rules and regulations of language are disturbed. You cannot do that. Right? So syntax error, spelling, syntax mistakes in code, program got run or stops mid-execution. What they are saying, remember, we have two types of languages. Compiler based and interpreter based. Do you guys remember that? What compiler based does, it does not allow you to run the program. What interpreter based does, it allows you to run the program, but whatever line it does not understand, stop the output or stop the execution. JavaScript also does that. Usually comes with error message, relatively easy to fix with proper tools. Syntax errors are sometimes or usually easy to handle. Here is the error that we cannot handle. Logical errors. Code is syntactically correct but gives wrong results. Code looks right, but do you remember I gave you a for loop example that print from 10 to 1, and still someone was printing 1 to 10. So their program did not have any syntax error, but it had logical error. Make sense? Logical error, what you are making a wrong logic. Program runs but behaves incorrectly. No error messages to help, often harder to detect and fix. Of course, it's not something the error that program is doing, it's you as a programmer is doing. So it's your capability to find the error and try to fix the errors over there. Now, some errors that we can handle using the developer console. When we go to inspector, open browser's developer tool, right click inspect, look for error messages in console. So usually console gives you the errors. And this will be a very important area. When we'll be working in DOM, when we'll be combining HTML and CSS together, I'll ask you if your program is running, first go into that part and try to find out what it's saying and try to debug what the error says. Sometimes it will say, you remember I told you that script, we try to put that in the body because we want all the body to be downloaded first. Remember everyone? So in the same way, if you are making such type of mistake, it will give the error over here that you are trying to access the property of something which is not there. Make sense? And you will know that, okay, reference error, ABC is not defined. ABC has some problem. There's some problem. So try to make a habit of reading these console errors, because we'll be making these console errors a lot and we'll be working with them. So what is that? Open browser, look for errors. Error messages typically show error type and description. File name where error has occurred. The file name is usually over here. It will tell you which file this error has occurred. File name will also be. Line numbers and character positions are also there. Okay, this is very interesting debugging technique, and this is something that I'll do with you when we'll be working with a very interesting example, debugging. Log progress with console.log. Use breakpoint. First of all, whenever you do something new, always log that and check whether it has done or not. For example, I want you to create a new HTML tag in HTML page. So I want you to create a new div. So I will say create a div. There is a method for that. And after creating this, console that. So that go and check whether it is working fine or not. Make sense, everyone? Always debug your code by consoling. And I'll show you how would you console. Use breakpoints. Have you guys used breakpoints in Python? Or maybe in other languages? Breakpoints? Really? You put a breakpoint somewhere and your code starts running, and at that point, code will stop. And you go step by step to know where you are making a mistake, which variable or which state it is slipping off. You just try to find that slipping state. Set breakpoints in DevTools, inspect variable values, step through the code execution. This is what, as I said, we will typically do, practically do when you'll be writing our code. So that is debugging techniques over here. Common errors are over here. Common syntax errors, missing parentheses, missing curly braces, unclosed. And by the way, JavaScript does not mind missing any, semicolon, the sign of semicolon. Because JavaScript does not, mandatory. It is not mandatory in JavaScript to have that semicolon at the end of statement. And you know why? Because JavaScript, as I said, it's a more friendly type of a language. But in all other languages, you'll find that parenthesis. In JavaScript also, if you miss out the parenthesis, the body, JavaScript will mind it. It will ask you to just run that or correct that one. Missing curly braces, missing unclosed string literals. Sometimes string literals are closed. And logical errors, assignment versus comparison, equal to versus equal versus equal. Do you guys remember the discussion about these three? This is assignment, this is equality, this is strict equality. Remember, strict equality. Incorrect math operations, parenthesis, order of operations, the same question you were asking. The method or the operations you are not making, logically your program might give not give the right result. So that will be the logical errors that we have. Okay, so these are the debugging processes. Identify the program, read error messages, check the line numbers, use console.log, test after each change, test edge cases. So we'll talk about, verify the solution. We'll talk about edge cases and everything. And now they've given some practice work and some lab work that you would like to do later on. Yes. So what you guys will do, just try to attempt this lab work and everything back home after your in class 1 is over, right? So for the next week, I would like you to just, have a look at that one and what is the result? How do they want? They want you to just focus on these fonts and everything, and this data will be available to you. But today, what we are doing right now, I will be opening up now in class, and our class time is about to be over. So I'll open the in class, and your time to solve this is till midnight. Midnight means 11:59 till tonight. So you have time. Do you have any class after that? After this? That's very good. So you have the time. Just try attempt that. Please, last word of again advice. Try it by yourself. If you are unable to try it by yourself, just write that I tried my level best and I was not able to solve it completely. I'll be very happy to see that note, rather than if I see that you have just copied it, you have just taken it from the AI or somewhere, and you are just pasting it on your program. Never work. Never work like that. So you try your programs. Wherever problems you come up with, you can always ping me on Team. Microsoft Teams is there. You can always ping there. Or maybe next week you can tell me that I submitted, but this was the problem. I tried to this solution and I was able to reach to this problem, this solution. Make sense, everyone? I'm really disappointed to see people are copying the code. Don't copy the code. You might get full marks if you have not solved maybe one of the problem. And you might get full marks again, or maybe some good marks again, but with a very heavy heart, because I know that this is all copied, but I will still give you the marks. I don't mind giving marks. So you guys get it? So, but if I'll be very sure that yes, you have copied it, then you'll have to face the consequences, right? So anyhow, so be smart, and I will now open up the in class for today. Yeah. All right, so it's there. I hope you can open that. Okay. So wherever it asks you to take input from user, just understand we are not still taking input. So whenever it says take in, or maybe it says that parameters. So parameters, function you have to define for the parameters. So there is no talk of input anywhere. Don't worry about that. You just have to write a function completing the functionality. So these are all the functions, very simple functions. You have to write one HTML file, connect it with inclass1.js, right? And then these are a little bit of the questions. And over here, I would see that this question that I was talking about, function that returns the number of matches found for the first argument in the remaining arguments. Remember, we have done today dot thing. I would love to see that you try to implement that way. Maybe using arguments or maybe using that way. But isn't that way more easier that we have dot? Define your own, take the first parameter separately and try to match them. So please try these all on your own. And remember to have the proper folder structure. And one more thing, that your folder, try to make your folder like this. So what's your first name or last name, whatever, which is the easy one? Karsh. Karsh, right? So Karsh will have his folder Karsh, in class 1 _ Karsh. Make sense, everyone? So try to name it with your first or second last name, so that it's rather easier to look at the folder and understand, okay, this is. And again, never forget to, I just does not mention that, never forget to give comments on your HTML page about who is the developer of this page, and on the scripts as well. Comment right on the top comment, like for example, developer name, your Karsh or whatever your name, and then this is in class 1 and the date is just, January 17th or whatever, right? Thank you very much, and I wish that you all will try these questions and do it by your own. Right? Thank you very much.